Hi friends, in this lecture you will learn a new topic called minimum and maximum of functions, right? So in this video you will be learning how to find the minimum and maximum of a function, and then you will also find at what value of a certain variable the whole function will give you minimum or maximum, and also you will be in a position to tell whether the function will yield you maximum or minimum, right? So for this you need some conceptual clarification. So by the end of this video, I'm pretty sure you'll be feeling much comfortable and you'll solve these minimum and maximum based questions very easily, right? With 100% accuracy and within very less time, right? So first of all, see this. First of all, if I take a variable x, okay, what will be the minimum value and what will be the maximum value? Now x can be any number on the number line, right? So what will be the minimum value? If you take a number line, the minimum value will be on the left side, right? Minus. So this x can go to any extent, so you'll get minimum as minus infinity and maximum as plus infinity. Now what about x square? Now see here, x square minimum value will be 0, maximum value will be plus infinity. Why so? You take any number. If suppose x is a negative number, when you square it, that becomes a positive number, right? So always any square number will be greater than or equal to 0. So the minimum value of any square, any perfect square, x is a perfect square, right? So even though x is negative number, when you square it, it becomes positive. So if x is equal to 0, 0 square is 0, x is equal to 1 means it becomes 1 square is 1, x is equal to minus 2 means x square will become plus 4, right? So here the minimum value you can get for x square is 0. Now what about minus x? Minus x, the minimum value of minus x will be, if suppose x is a positive number, minus of positive number will give you minus, right? So minimum value can go again minus infinity. Similarly, minus of x is negative number. Suppose if x is negative number, negative of negative, it gives you positive, right? So minus x maximum can be plus infinity. What about minus x square? Again you see here, x square will always give you 0 or greater than 0, right? So what will be the minimum value here? Since you have negative here, be it any number 0 or greater than 0, you will get a minus in addition to this, right? So your minimum value will be minus infinity. What about maximum value? Maximum value for this will be 0, right? Why? Because why? Because there is no way you can get a positive number out of this, right? Because here, because of this minus x square, it is not minus of this one, right? This minus is belonging to x square, completely x square, okay? Minus of x square. This is about a little bit of introduction, right? So just keep this table in mind, okay? You should know this one. I'll tell you the advantage as well. So now let us start solving a few questions on this concept. In this question, the question says y is equal to 23 minus 3x minus 7 whole square. Now any of your maximum minimum questions, there can be 2 questions asked on every single question, right? What are the 3 kinds of question can be framed in this particular concept is, you can be asked to find the minimum value of this complete function, right? This whole thing is a function, so they can ask you to find the minimum value of this function, or you can be asked to find the maximum value of the function, or they can also ask you at what value of this particular variable the whole function will give you maximum or minimum value, right? Now before solving this question, you need to know whether this function will give you maximum value or minimum value. So you will understand what I mean by this, right? Suppose first of all, let us simplify this question. Y is equal to 23 minus 3x minus 7 whole square. 23 minus, this is of a minus b whole square, so a square plus b square minus 2ab, right? Minus 2ab. Simplify it further, you will get minus 9x square minus 49 plus 42x. So this will give you minus 9x square plus 42x. This minus 43 minus 49 plus this one gives you 26, right? Minus 26. That's it. So if you see this equation, your y is nothing but minus 9x square plus 42x minus 26, right? Now what is this equation? This is a quadratic equation, right? Now, in a quadratic equation, whether if you want to say whether this function will give you maximum value or minimum value, you need to draw the graph. But then I have already explained this method in functions of graphs lecture, right? There I told you without drawing the graph, you can tell the shape of this graph. How? See this. What is the coefficient with x square? It is a. A is nothing but -9. So I told you whenever your coefficient of x square, that is a, is negative, your graph will be like this sad smiley, right? Your graph will look sad smiley. If a is positive, your graph will look like a laughing smiley. Okay, this one. Now this is a negative number. That means your graph will definitely be bent downwards, right? It can be here, or it can be like this, or it can be like this. Okay. Now the graph can locate anywhere. The graph can be here, 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 or anywhere, right? The position of this particular graph can be identified by finding the discriminant, right? Now in this question, it is not required to find the discriminant. Don't waste your time to plot the exact graph. Our intention is to find just the shape of the graph, right? Whether it is downward or upward, so that we can say whether the function will have minimum value or maximum value. Now we are pretty sure that the graph will look downwards like this. So I'll take just one instance here. Maybe let us take the graph is like this. Okay. Now what you can see here, if you are extending this graph, just imagine you are extending this graph. What happens? This is positive x-axis, this is negative, positive y-axis, negative y-axis, right? So as you come forward, as you move downward, the value of the y-axis decreases, right? The value of the graph keep decreasing. So by now you should understand that this particular graph will only have maximum value, right? And what about the minimum value? It can be negative infinity. It can stop here, or it can stop here, it can stop here, it can stop here, anywhere it can stop. So there is no definite answer for minimum value of this graph. So normally what happens is, in your exam, whatever value you can find, only question will be asked on that particular thing, right? Since in this graph you can't say what is the minimum value, so this question is actually wrong. They can't ask you, right? Because you can't say minimum value. But then if at all you are asked to find, the answer will be negative infinity. Okay, negative infinity. So for this graph, you can't say what is the minimum value, only you can say what is the maximum value. So the actual question is not this. I myself framed this question like this, okay, just to make you understand. I added this particular point, but then actual question is find the maximum value of y. That's it. So now you know that this particular graph will only have maximum value, and minimum value can be anything. So your question won't be on that. Now let us solve our actual question, this one. How will you find the maximum value of y? Now to find what is the maximum value of y, I'll tell you the best method to solve minimum and maximum questions, right? Now how will you find the maximum value of y? Simple. The method is nothing but differentiation. Differentiation, right? Now people argue that for GRE there is no differentiation, right? But then actually first level differentiation you have to learn. Why? Because this makes your question easy. Otherwise what you have to do is, if you don't learn this first level differentiation method, you have to start solving this question. I'll tell you the second way also. Most of the minimum and maximum value questions you have to solve by making them perfect squares, right? That is the only way you have to solve if you don't know the differentiation method. Now if you know the differentiation method, what happens is, you let him give any question, you will be able to solve very easily, right? Now what is first level differentiation? So I'll just tell you one level of differentiation, that should be enough. If you have a power m, okay, if you have a power m, when you differentiate it, it will be m into a power m minus 1. That's it. Just tell me, is it really difficult? So difficult to learn first level differentiation? No, not at all, right? What you will do is, m you write here, then reduce the power of m by 1. If you want to do second level differentiation, what you will do? This power you multiply here, so it will be m minus 1 into m into a power reduce minus 1 here, m power minus 2. That's it. Now you must be knowing, if you wanted to do third level differentiation, you can do it easily, right? One more thing you need to know, differentiation of any constant will give you 0. Suppose if you want to differentiate 2 by level 1, that if you differentiate it, it will give you 0, right? That's it. So now that you have learned differentiation also, so let us apply this differentiation concept and let us solve the question. Now let us differentiate this. 2 you multiply here, it will be minus 18x, that's it. 2 reduced by 1, it will be minus 18x, plus what about this one, 42 into x. So this is nothing but 42 into x power 1. Okay, 1 you multiply with 42, it will be 42, and then you have to reduce 1 by 1, so it will become x power 0, right? Then what is differentiation of this constant? It is nothing but 0. So minus 18x plus 42 is your differentiation. So if you differentiate your function by one level, you will get this. Then what you'll do is you equate it to 0. So your minus 18x will be equal to minus 42. Your x will be 42 by 18. 6 goes 3 times, 6 sevens are 42. It will be 7 by 3. That's it. Okay. So what you can say from this is you are actually getting the third answer. Third question, you are getting the answer for the third question. What is that? At what value of x y will be maximum? The answer for this question will be 7 by 3, right? So when x is equal to 7 by 3, the particular function y is equal to this function will be maximum. But how will you solve this one? Second question, simple, put the value of x in this equation, you will get your answer. So let us try that. Y is equal to 23 minus 3 into, what is your x? 7 by 3 minus 7 whole square. 3 cancel, you will get 23 minus 7 whole square. You will get 23 minus 0, which is 23. That's it. So answer for this question will be 23. Okay. Now we will discuss the same question in a second way, and that will be much faster way. See here, your y is equal to 23 minus this whole thing is there, right? I can take this one as a. Let us take this particular whole thing as a. So it will be a square. Okay. Where a is nothing but 3x minus 7. So I can write it like this. Now at the first when we started this lecture, I told you what is the minimum value or maximum value of a square. What is the minimum value of a square? Minimum value is 0. Maximum value is infinity, right? You need not mug up, you can put the values and check. A square is a perfect square, that means it must be greater than or equal to 0, right? Any perfect square will be greater than or equal to 0, that means your minimum value itself is 0. No way it can be negative, right? So see here, in the question he clearly asked what is the maximum value of y. So y is equal to 23 minus a square. You are actually removing something out of 23, right? Now just imagine, to get maximum value out of this, what you have to do, you have to remove as least as possible. Okay, you have to remove the least value possible for this a square. What is the least value possible for a square? 0. That means you need to subtract 0 from this. So you're getting y is equal to 23. That's it. So even without doing differentiation, you are able to solve this question. But then I'll tell you an algorithm here. See, whenever you see a question on minimum and maximum, first observe whether the particular question can be solved using perfect square logic. Okay, if the perfect square logic is very obvious and very evident in the question, then go by that. Now if you are facing difficulty to make the question or rearrange the question such that a perfect square is made out of it, if you feel that is difficult, then soon switch to your differentiation method, right? Now majority of minimum maximum questions are easy to solve using differentiation method only. Why? Because not all the times your perfect square will be given this easy like this. Okay, instead what they will do is the question will be like this: y is equal to, earlier we saw, right, 9x square something 42, I think, something plus 42 plus this is, let it be something like this. Okay, your question is given like this. Normally what happens is, in your exam, instead of giving like this, they will give something like this. This is something, I don't remember the value. Okay, it can be anything. So what happens is, now you have to decode this. Okay, decode this as this one. Now if you are in a position to write this one as a perfect square like this, then you are happy to go with the perfect square. But what happens is in exam, the questions will not be like this. Mostly they will prefer giving like this, so that they want to confuse the exam takers, right? They want to confuse the aspirants. So they will not give a direct question. Instead, they will give this one. Now, when you are facing a question like this, then don't try to decode it into a perfect square. Straight away, go by using differentiation method, right? Now, let us solve our second question. Now, let us solve this question. It says y is equal to 15 minus 4a. This is not 49. 4a plus 5b whole square. Then y will be maximum when a by b is equal to how much? Now you see here, whenever you see the question, okay, I told you the algorithm to follow. First of all, try to identify whether you will be able to solve this question using perfect square logic, okay? Now see here, it is very evident here, 15 minus something perfect square is there, right? So don't try to use differentiation method. Instead, go by observing the perfect square. Now this can be written as minus a square. So let it be x square, okay? So where your x is nothing but 4a plus 5b, fine? Your x is nothing but 4a plus 5b. From this, what you can say, to get the maximum value of y, you have to subtract the minimum value, right? So what will be the minimum value of x square? It will be 0. So what you can say is 4a plus 5b is nothing but 0. So 4a is equal to minus 5b. So a by b will be minus 5 by 4. That's it. So your question is solved. In seconds it will be solved, right? So when a by b is equal to 5 by 4, this particular function will give you the maximum value. Our next question is, find the minimum value of x square minus x plus 1, right? You have to find the minimum value of this function. So how will you do? Are you able to write this in terms of perfect square? In terms of perfect square means you should be in a position to write something like, see here, you have to, I'll show you that method as well. So first of all, let us decode this. Will you be able to write this as a perfect square? So you have to try that, right? How? Suppose if I say this is x square minus 2 into ab, right? So this is a square minus 2ab plus b square of this form. Okay, you should be able to write in this form. Now a is fine, so from this you can say a is x. What about your b? Your b is 1, but then you should have 2ab, right? So you should have b is equal to 1 by 2. So what happens is, if you put the values here, minus 2 into x into 1 by 2, this gives you minus x. That is what it is there here, right? Plus b square. B square means it will be 1 by 4. So this will be 1 by 4. But then here we have only 1. So this can be written as x square minus 2 into what is a into b plus 1 by 4. So here you have 1 by 4, right? A square minus 2ab plus b square. Now you need to do something so that you will get 1 here, right? This actual function is, see here, if you simplify this, you will get x square. This will be minus x plus 1 by 4 is there, but actually you need 1 here. So here you need 1, okay? But here you have 1 by 4. What you have to do now? Now see here, 1 by 4 plus 3 by 4. If you do plus 3 by 4, you will get 1 here, okay? Now see this. This thing you are successfully able to split it this way, understand? So what you have to do is, this one you can split it like this, x square minus 2 into x into 1 by 2, right? Plus 1 by 4 plus 3 by 4. That's it, okay? Because these things together will give you 1 only. Fine. Now this one can be written as x minus 1 by 2 whole square plus 3 by 4. Now see this, if you are able to decode this question as this one, well and good, you can go with perfect square. But then if you are not able to do that, then better go by differentiation method. That's why I said, if your question is not directly asking about perfect square, directly switch to the differentiation method. Anyway, since I derived this perfect square logic, let us solve for this one. Now you are asked to find the minimum value, right? Minimum value of this function. So for this whole function to get minimum value, what should be this one? This one. You are adding something to 3 by 4. This whole thing should be minimum. That means even this should be minimum. Understand? only then this whole function will be minimum. If you are adding something maximum to this whole value will become maximum, okay? But then you are looking for minimum. So this is of the form perfect square. See here, a square plus 3 by 4 form, right? What is the minimum value of a square? It is nothing but 0. 0 plus 3 by 4. So your answer must be for this question is 3 by 4. That's it. Okay? But how did you get 3 by 4? After doing all this logic, right? Now, your perfect square logic will be easy when you are able to decode the question into a perfect square. That's it. Now, let us solve the same question using differentiation technique. How will you do differentiation here? X square minus x plus 1. First level differentiation, this gives you 2x minus 1 equal to 0. X will be 1 by 2. So, what will be the minimum value of this function? The function will give you minimum value when x is equal to 1 by 2, but the question is not that. The question is what is the minimum value of this whole function. So put 1 by 2 in the question. So it will be 1 by 2 whole square minus 1 by 2 plus 1. This gives you 1 by 4 minus 1 by 2 plus 1, right? So this gives you, if you take LCM 4, 1 minus 2 plus 4, right? This gives you 3 by 4. That's it. The same answer we got here as well, right? Now, you know two techniques. One is to solve this question using a perfect square. Another technique is to solve it using differentiation method. Now, it's in your hands whether to use which method, right? I suggest you directly go with differentiation method if you fail to observe any perfect square logic in the question, right? Now, this video is part of Algebra Complete course. Now here we have solved 3 questions, but then remaining questions will be solved in the algebra course. Interested people can download Spartans e-learning app and then you can view our courses. There you will find a lot more examples, lot more questions on this particular concept. Not only in this concept, there are algebra, there are about 24 concepts. So I have in detail explained all the topics in detail, right? So once you are done with the complete course, nowhere you will have any doubt in algebra course, right? Thank you.